so excited. I'm literally so excited. I'm beaming from ear to ear. I'm not sad. I'm not lonely. But I'm a slight sprinkle of the two.
4. Wow! In the hour.
Greetings and salutations. Today is shooting day 2. I did a reel of how shooting day 1 went, so you can check that out on my Instagram. But today I think I might be vlogging again like the first vlog. This is going to be very peace because obviously I'm not going to be on my phone the whole time. But I hope you enjoy either way. Wish me well. Today is going to be so much more busier than yesterday, but I'm ready for it. I'm excited and let's go. Y'all, we're here. This is the first location shoot. I'm so excited. I'm literally so excited. I'm beaming from ear to ear. And the location is so pretty. Morning! Ah! Good morning! Okay, I've got to fit 2 things fast. I don't know why it cracks me up so much that there's a girl's bathroom in a boys' school. And the girl's bathroom is so nice, girl.
Oh, this is nice! Girl! They don't smell like roaches in here or nothing.
Anyway, let's start fitting the stuff.
Two hours later.
Hi to the vlog.
What's up?
No, you just have to look hot.
Like I do always, you know what I'm saying?
No.
It's the one and only Digo Double G.
No. You know this man is trying to seduce the extras. This man has been trying to seduce extras. He looks at me and he goes, your name is I'm over you. Okay, so time check. It's currently 12:30 and I'm fine. We spent quite some time shooting the intro vlogging scene. I don't know if you heard that. Anyway, that means I've got 9 minutes as well. Anyway, it was a little bit difficult maintaining my excitement all the way through. So yeah, at first I got really overwhelmed, and then I could feel, you know, when your throat starts choking up when you're about to cry, and I was like, Puntla, this is the most stupid reason to cry. Don't you dare cry. So I didn't cry, but I could feel my throat choking up because I got orders. And I was like, I'm sorry. So yeah, that's why I got like a little bit choked up, and then I downed like a bottle and a half of water to get rid of it. But yeah, now I'm fine, kind of. And after I choked up, after I got myself together, drank water, made a joke in my head, made myself laugh, talked to Mark. Mark is our performance coach. He's the best guy ever. I'm convinced. I would be in tears now if it wasn't for Mark. And then we came in. And now I'm back to that feeling of weirdness, like when I'm not busy shooting, sitting and doing nothing, when we're not practicing lines, because sometimes Rantu's doing something else, so we're not always practicing lines, so then it's moments like this where I go and hide in the bathroom. Fun fact, actually, before we shot the last scene, I was hiding in the bathroom, and that turned out a bad idea because they needed me, and they were calling me, and I couldn't hear because I was hiding in the bathroom. So then when I ran out of the bathroom, I nearly fell. So that wasn't fun. When I'm out there shooting, I'm happiest and I'm having fun and I feel busy and I feel purposeful. But when I come back in, I don't feel the most comfortable. Like I want a friend, my sister. Like I wish I could call my sisters, but they're probably not gonna pick up.
Bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side eye.
But yeah, I just like seclude a little bit, which isn't great, so I'm gonna work on that. But yeah, we've got 9 minutes and then we're filming a small scene, and then after that we're filming a big scene. So I'm excited for the big scene because then it's gonna take long, and that means I'm busy for long. I'm in my feels. I'm not sad, I'm not lonely, but I'm a slight sprinkle of the two. That's the update, y'all.
A few minutes later.
We just finished filming the scene where I'm in a dustbin. It was the fastest one ever. You wanna say hi?
Hi.
To the vlog. Anyway, that was the fastest shoot ever for like 2 lines.
Later.
It's giving Superwoman. Oh, now you're a magician. From I think 5 months later, who is here to describe all of the events leading up to me crying in front of everybody while I was at work. So it's the last scene we're filming for the day. I mean, obviously you guys saw earlier in the vlog, I started to nosedive emotionally because I was really, really lonely. But otherwise, physically I was a-okay, you know. So I was so happy before we were doing the scene. Like while she was doing my hair, I was like looking in the mirror and I was smiling, and I came to my mom, I was like, look at my hair, and she took pictures of me, and you know, I was like so happy. I was so happy on the way to the hallway where we were gonna shoot the scene. So the scene that we were shooting was we were selling an item to our teacher. So the way that we were gonna advertise the outfit was to do the mannequin challenge. Cameraman was going to be holding the camera, and then as our teacher walks this way, he walks backwards, and on the sides is all of us in a position wearing Upstyle's new clothes. So our director explains all of this to us, and he's like, you guys can choose whatever funky pose you want to hold for the shot. And then, like Raven Simone, you know when Raven Simone in That's So Raven, she has a moment, she's like, oh, and then she sees into the future. That was me, but seeing into the past. I immediately thought of the meeting I had with our producer and our director about that I can incorporate flexibility into my character, into Essie here.
So I was like, hold on, this is my time to shine, you guys. I'm so excited.
And I look at my producer, she's standing there. And then as she was about to walk away, I was like, hold on. Like, is it okay if I like jump into a split and that's my pose? And she was like, yeah, that's such a great idea. That's so quirky. Like, we love to see it. She was like, that would be great. So I get into the split, and I can definitely hold the split for very, very, very long. So it was no issue for me. Got into the split, but then Michael, the guy who's holding the camera, he was like, she's not in frame. Like, we can't see her because I was on the floor, right? And then I was like, shucks. And then our producer was also like, shucks, you know? And we were all having an shucks moment. And then, again, I was like, oh my gosh, hold on. Chakaman. Emang hanya guys, I got a plan.
I can do a back bend.
Did I not regret me looking back at that exact moment where those words, they left my mouth? I feel remorse. I feel shock and horror. Because if only I knew what was to come from me offering to do a back bend.
I don't want peace. I want problems, always.
So anyway, my producer's like, oh, okay, cool, that works too. And I was like, bet, yeah. I go into the back bend. Great, fantastic, tantalizing, amazing, wonderful. I can't look you in the eye and tell you exactly how long that scene is, but in my dramatized version of events in my head, each time we shot that scene, it was like 1 minute to 2 minutes. I don't know how many takes we took. So we're gonna, again, in the dramatized version of events in my head, we took 6 takes, right? I don't know how many takes we actually took. It could have been more than that. It could have been less than that. Who knows? Not me, and I have no way to confirm. First time we took the scene, it was easy. It was a piece of cake, me. And then when they said cut, I got out of the back bend and I stood up, you know, and I started talking to Zuri. I was chilling. And then we shoot the scene again, which is totally normal. So I got into my position of the back bend. Like, I'd say 20 seconds later, they said action. So anyway, second take, we're doing it, you know? He moves the camera very, very slowly, and Miss Nelson is walking down the hallway very, very slowly. And I'm like, okay, I'm starting to feel a bit weird in my shoulders, but it's okay, it's all right, it's all right. He says cut. I'm at this point in the story, I'm still able to stand up. I still feel a little bit weird, you know, I'm slightly out of breath, but it's nothing hectic. And then he says, we're gonna shoot it again. I'm like, okay. Cooliosies in the Juliosies. And again, I wait a little bit before he calls action. I'm sure there was genuine reason to it, but in my head, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in a back bend and I can't necessarily hold this for too long. So I was in the back bend, and like midway through the third time we shot that scene is when things started going downhill. When I tell you Indriyawa, I mean Indriyawa. You can even hear the dogs, like they're going crazy because they know that the worst part of the story is about to arrive. My dear beloved, I need you to understand that there are very big differences between a split and a back bend. Here's me doing the split, and here's me doing a back bend, right? The main difference in these two is the position of my head. In a back bend, my head is upside down. In a split, my torso, my head, my neck, everything is upright. So I failed to think about that before I offered up the idea of doing a back bend. The blood started rushing to my head. I was getting more and more out of breath.
Yo, you know where the danger is. You know where the danger is.
He says cut, and I'm like, oh shucks, you know? This was the beginning of the end. I couldn't talk to anyone. Like, I was just sitting on the floor. I was like, just realizing what I had done to myself. Now, this was definitely the point where I should have been a grown girl and been like, hey guys, can I just not do the back bend because I feel really weird? But I didn't, because evidently I hate myself. I started downplaying my feelings. I was like, you know, yeah, my head feels a bit weird, but it's not that deep. Or like, yeah, my arms are aching a tiny bit, but you know what? I can do it. Like, I can endure. Mama didn't raise no quitter. We're on the fourth take now. And I get into the back bend and I'm like, this is not a good idea. Also, bear in mind, when I was in the back bend, because the camera, like my face was facing the camera, I was smiling from ear to ear. I was doing a huge smile, right, for this whole take. And that was the fakest smile I've ever done in my life because my mind was racing. I was like, my knees are sore, my feet are sore, my hips are sore, my arms are sore, my brain feels sore, my lungs feel sore. What's going on, right? And then he says, cut. I simply fell out of the back bend because I couldn't stand up. And then it was at this point where Mark, our performance coach, Mark is the real MVP, man. That man helped me personally through so much on day 2 of production. I will never forget his work. So he walks up to me and he's like, hey, yo, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Can I just have like some water? You know, I'm feeling a bit funny. Again, this would have been a perfect opportunity for me to say, hey guys, I don't think it's a good idea for me to do the back bend. But I didn't say that. So then I'm drinking my water and then I'm like to Mark, you know, could you maybe ask them to like tell us to get into position just before they're about to call action? Because when I get into the back bend, and then there's like a 30-second wait before he calls action, that's an extra 30 seconds that I'm sitting at a back bend. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. And everyone's like, oh, okay, cool. Fifth take, when he was like literally about to start recording, he was like, okay, Buntle, get up. So I get in the back bend. Ha! It was 4:10. Like they told me I was down bad. The blood was rushing to my head. My head felt so heavy. I couldn't necessarily see very well. My shoulders were burning, and my quads as well. A lot of the strain is in my calves to keep my body up. So my legs were starting to shake. Have you guys ever done a wall sit? You see that burn in your quads? Yeah, I was feeling it, Dichomi. He calls cut, and I literally fall. When I tell you the amount of blood that was in my head, my vision was getting spotty, but I also couldn't hear well. It felt like I was underwater and like people were talking above me. And then I think Mark noticed, and then he brought my chair and he was like, sit down, okay? And I was like, okay, I'm sitting. And I was like not doing well, man. My face was red, like it was just... It was bad. I think our director or our assistant director walked in and he's like, okay, everybody get into position. And then Mark was like, just give her like another like 20 seconds. And I was like, no, I'm fine. And he was like, just at least finish the water. Like I was giving myself the biggest pep talk in my head, but also being so scared for my health. Guys, 6th take, I get into my position. They call action. That was the longest 1 minute of my life. Everything was sore. My vision was going blurry. Ears felt blocked. I could not breathe. I don't know what lengths I can go to try and make you understand how bad it was, but it was really, really, really bad. Through a miracle, right? By the time he says cut, I was still conscious. I had not fainted. However, they say we're gonna do another scene. So I pull myself together and I'm limping to the change rooms because my legs were so sore. My heart was racing, bro. Just the simple physical movement of walking made me feel like I was about to have a heart attack. Mentally, physically, I was in the trenches. I was at the bottom of the dustbin. The mental load fell on me like a wave crashing over someone who's drowning. And I started bawling my eyes out as silently as I could. And I honestly think I was having like an anxiety attack or a panic attack or something. I just sat in the change rooms on the floor, staring at the wall like, what have I done? And where am I? And I have no friends here. And my body is giving out on me. And I want to go home. And I want to be in my bed. And nobody here likes me. And I don't even know what I'm doing on set. I'm like, I'm not an actress. Why am I here? Obviously, I could have walked up to anyone and been like, bro, I'm down horrendous. It was the second day of production. Like, I didn't know anyone that well. And I also didn't want them to see me crying. Like, you've known me for less than a week. Those were the thoughts that were going through my head and that was spiraling me out of control. In addition to my physical turmoil. And I just started sobbing and sobbing and sobbing. Or like, I think they were calling me, right? And I had no ability to answer. Somehow Mark figured out that I was crying. So then he walked in and he was like, are you okay? And then he immediately knew that it was because of the back beds, because he could see how physically I was like shaking, right? So he was like, it's not your fault. Calm down. Here's water. You need to breathe, because I wasn't breathing well. So he was like, come on, take deep breaths with me. And I think I had even changed into the clothes for the next scene. I was like, okay, I need to pull myself together, because at this time, again, I still thought we were going to be filming a scene. So I was like, Quintley, you need to stop crying. You need to stop crying. So then I don't know who walked in first. It was either our producer or our assistant director, or they walked in at the same time. But I remember when they walked in, right? I was like, oh. And then I tried to stand up. My assistant director was like, sit down. And they sit down on the floor with me. Indira's like, hey, Claire. And I'm like, hi. And she's like, how are you? And I look at the floor and I'm like, this is the first time in my life I can't lie. So I just kept quiet. And then we just had a whole heart-to-heart conversation. She apologized. She was like, we should have never put you in that situation. Our assistant director apologized. I apologized, because to this day, guys, the whole reason I went into that back bin was because I was being extra. Because nigga papa, I was doing too much.
Yeah, I am queen.
They were like, your call time is going to be later on in the day, because evidently you are in no state to be filming now and tomorrow morning. You just need to rest. And then our assistant director was like, we're not doing the next scene, so you can like calm down. And I was like, but then what's going to happen? He was like, that's my job. Don't worry, please. My mom kind of calmed me down some more. And then I changed into my normal clothes. So then they called Benjamin, our medical assistant on set. We love Benjamin. Benjamin helped us
through the whole production, to be so honest, because even towards the end of production, I got sick. You guys are gonna see that in the end of production vlogs. I explained my symptoms to him. He gave me all the stuff that I need to be taking. He gave me a painkiller. He also gave me vitamins. And then I explained my back pain, and he had deep heat. He put deep heat on my back, and then he massaged my back, and it really did work. And then he told my mom maybe like massage her back before she goes to bed tonight. But when I got home, I called my sisters, and then when I was like telling the story again, I started sobbing my eyes out. And now my older sister, she was like, yes, I feel for you, but also what were you doing?
Yeah, I queen.
And for real, to this day, I don't know what possessed me to say that I can do a back bend for extended periods of time. Yeah. Then the next day on set, everybody checked on me. They were like, next time you're physically not okay or emotionally not okay, you can talk to anyone on set. We will help you. So yeah, that's the story time.